Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone. Thank you for joining this important discussion. Today, topic is one of affect many students and families. How socioeconomic status impact education and what schools can do to support students from all walks of life. We know that not all students start at the same point. Some come to school with full support, with proper meals and extra tuition, while others come from home that are struggling to provide the basics. To explore these issues, we have 4 speakers from different backgrounds, which is a school leader, a teacher, a parent, and a community leader. Each of them will share their perspective and ideas for how we can bridge the gap and create a federal education system. Let's begin with the community leader.
Honestly, as a community leader, I feel truly sadness and concern when I look at the condition of the children in our area. There are so many students here with great potential, but they are being held back because of their families' financial struggles. Sometimes, when I walk around the village in the morning, I see kids going to school in worn-out uniforms. Some of their shoes are falling apart, and when I ask them about it, they say they have been using the same set for years because their parents can't afford to buy new ones. And that's just the surface. When it comes to school supplies such as pens, books, calculators, and many of them don't have the basics. These things may seem small, but they really matter when it comes to keeping up in class. Without them, students fall behind, and most of the time they feel too embarrassed to ask for help. Another big problem is the lack of learning support at home. Many students in our community don't have proper internet access. Some don't have it at all. When teachers assign online tasks, they have to rely on neighbors or wait for their parents to come home with a phone. And to make it worse, some students go straight to part-time work after school. Some of them help out at food stall. Some do odd jobs just to support their family. By the time night comes, they are too exhausted to even look at their homework. At the same time, students from well-off families are living a completely different reality. They have fast internet, their own gadgets, private tutors, and parents who are highly educated and able to guide them. This gap between the rich and the poor is growing. I'm not here to blame anyone, but this is the reality we face. And if we don't act now, more of our students will slip through the cracks. That's why my team and I started a small initiative. We run free community tuition classes every weekend. We use the community hall, borrow chairs and tables from the surau, and ask nearby teachers to volunteer their time to help. On top of that, we try to collect funds from NGOs, personal donors, and welfare bodies. We use that money to buy school supplies, such as uniforms, and sometimes even groceries for families in serious need. But I know it's not enough. Community efforts alone won't solve this. We need support from the schools, from teachers, and from the parents themselves. Even if it's not financial support, sometimes moral support and encouragement can go a long way. I truly believe that every child has the right to succeed. But if we let poverty limit them, we are slowly killing their future without even realizing it. Education should never be about who's rich and who's poor. It should be about opportunity. And as a community, it is our duty to make sure that every child, no matter their background, gets an equal chance. I'm not asking for anything grand, just that we look out for each other, support one another, and understand what these children are going through for their future, for our community, and for a more fair and balanced society. That's all from me.
Thank you, community leader, for your helpful and meaningful argument. Now, to the school leader, what do you think about this topic?
Thank you for your question, moderator. For a school leadership perspective, I see firsthand how deeply student background can affect their change in school. Many of our students from low-income families face issues that go far beyond academic. They come to school without basic school supply, no internet at home, and sometimes even without breakfast. And it's not just about money. Many of their parents didn't have access to education themselves, so don't know how to support their children academically. As school leader, we must take action. We can start by providing free extra class, especially for core subjects. We can extend library and computer lab hours, so students who don't have facility at home can study properly. We also need to think outside the box. Maybe create a school resource bank for food, uniform, and stationery donation. Another area we often overlook is parent involvement. Many parents feel shy or unsure because of their own limited education. We need to change that by organizing simple parent workshop, holding more inclusive PTA meeting, and using language to welcome everyone. Even if a parent can help with homework, they can still provide encouragement. They just need to know how. Lastly, many underprivileged students lack exposure to opportunities. They don't see role models who look like them or come similarly background. That's why we should organize career day, motivational talk, and mentorship program. If they can see what's possible, they will start believing in themselves. Our job as school leader is not just to run a school, but to make sure every student, rich or poor, has the same opportunity to success.
Thank you, the school leader, for this. I can see that you are very caring for this argument. Now, I will ask the teacher, what do you think about this topic?
Okay, I think about this topic as a teacher. I see the daily struggle that comes from economic inequality. In the same classroom, I have students who come in with best friend and best school supplies, well rested, confident, and ready to learn. They go for tuition, they have support the parents, and they even use educational apps at home. But then there are others that work in league, tired sometimes, even hungry. They don't have notebook or pens. They can afford internet, so they miss out on online assignment or research. Some of them even work part-time after school to support their families, and by the time they reach class the next day, they physically and mentally drained. It's not just about grades, it affects their self-esteem, their motivation, and their social interaction. Some students are bullied for wearing worn-out uniform or not having trendy things. They begin to feel like they don't belong. That's where we as a teacher need to step in. We have to observe and compassion. If a student is struggling, we should check in on them. Offer a listening ears, provide extra help when needed. Even if it means staying back a bit after class, sometimes a teacher's encouragement is the only motivation they have. Also, we can collaborate with the school to identify students who need financial financial or emotional support. Maybe start a classroom donation drive or refer student to counselor. The school can also run feeding programs, provide free materials, or connect students with community support. Teaching goes beyond textbook. We have to teach with heart, especially when we know our students are fighting battles outside the classroom too.
Thank you, teacher, for your argument. As a parent, I know that your opinion really matters. What is your opinion on this topic?
Thank you for your question, moderator. As a parent, I can honestly say we all want the best for our children, but many of us from low income or less educated background, it's not easy to support them the way we wish we could. Some people think parents don't care when their kids fall behind, but that's far from the truth. Many of us are working long hours just to survive. When we come home, we are tired, and some of us don't even understand the schoolwork well enough to help. We also face a knowledge gap. We may not know how to use online system or understand school policies, and sometimes we feel embarrassed to ask. That doesn't mean we don't care. We just need school to communicate with us a friendly, clear way. Another challenge is access. Wealthier families have more connection, more information about program, scholarship, and special events. Meanwhile, we miss out not because we are not interested, but because we are not in those networks. I really appreciate when schools send updates through WhatsApp, or do short briefing to help us to understand how to support our children. Even small efforts like that make a big difference. If school organize simple workshop like how to help with homework or understanding report cards, many parents like me would show up. Also, practical support like meal program, stationery donation, or even second-hand uniform really helps. It eases the burden and remind our children that they are cared for. At the end of the day, parents are part of the situation. We may not have everything, but we have love and hope for our children. If school and communities work with us instead of judging us, we can raise children who believe in themselves, no matter where they come from. That's all from me.
Thank you for your opinion. Thank you all so much for your honest and heartfelt sharing. I think what we heard today makes one thing very clear. Education is not just about textbook and exams. It's about people, our students, their families, their teachers, and the communities that surround them. Socioeconomic status should never be the deciding factor in whether a child succeeds or not, but the truth it is often does. And unless we work together to understand this challenge and address them, the gap between students will continue to grow. As we heard today, school leaders can create more inclusive environments, teachers can show empathy and provide support, parents can play a stronger role when they feel included, and communities can be powerful allies in ensuring no student is left behind. We don't need big budgets or complicated policies to start making a difference. Sometimes the most impactful change comes from listening, caring, and acting together. So let's take what we discussed today and turn it into real steps, because every student deserves a fair chance, and it's our shared responsibility to make that happen. Thank you again, and let's keep the conversation and the effort going beyond today. Okay.